We have two gentlemen that some people have called Mavericks and Renegades. Some people have called Stuck Pixel and Major Malfunction. And some people have called the Bert and Ernie of Web3 Gaming. Matt and Chris from Shortfuse Gaming.
Which one am I?
Oh, Chris.
An American biscuit is to a scone as an American pancake is to a British pancake.
Teeth that come up, an overbite, and then...
So then, Mr. Scientist, where's the leakage go?
Leakage is something that I'm constantly worried about. Creamed nuts.
Wait, what?
What?
Taco, this is now episode 5. And I hate to break it to you in this way. I hate for you have to find this out, but I think that we should see other people. And talking of those other people, we have two gentlemen that some people have called Mavericks and Renegades. Some people have called Stuck Pixel and Major Malfunction. And some people have called the Bert and Ernie of Web3 Gaming. I'll let you decide who is who. Gentlemen, Matt and Chris from Shortfuse Gaming. What's your favorite breakfast?
Sausage gravy.
I am just getting around to the idea that people will eat a scone with gravy, but now it's breakfast? I thought that was like a side dish.
No, yeah, it's absolutely.
Oh my
God. And it's not really a scone, right? Because it's fluffier. It's got to be real fluffy and light, and it stacks up about that high. And cover it in gravy and sausage, and it's amazing.
Oh, hang on. So you might actually just be talking about what we call suet dumplings. Just like, because a scone, a fluffier scone is a different thing, right? Scones are hard, they're dense. They're
we call them biscuits.
Yeah,
biscuits are fluffy and light.
An American biscuit is to a scone as an American pancake is to a British pancake.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm getting all turned around.
More crepey than British pancake, but yes. Because different.
Okay.
Presumably,
Chris's breakfast of choice is black coffee and a shot of liquor.
Actually, I come with visual aids.
Okay.
My breakfast this morning, I got the amazing double egg.
Is that black pudding or sausage?
That's it's sausage.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite breakfast. It's really easy. 3 eggs over easy, home fries, bacon, usually, or sausage, and some sort of something to mop up the mess. I'm gluten-free, so it's gluten-free toast, which is just like eating cardboard disappointment. But that's my favorite breakfast.
Chris, do you remember when we were in San Francisco and we found that little pubby breakfast place?
Oh, yeah.
That was killer. Like, just nothing but scrambles, and there was like 3
the
tables.
Scrambles were really good. That was a good breakfast place.
Oh, man. Now I'm hungry, boys.
Thanks for the invite, because we were out in San Francisco together, and no invite. And I was up at 3 a.m. every morning because of the exchange rate. So...
yeah, no invite.
Hurtful.
No.
It was just, we were having a little Bert and Ernie time.
Which one am I?
oh, Chris. All right, gentlemen, you've obviously got some very exciting things going on. Me and Taco happen to see a lot of the behind the scenes because we're in the Discord and we've got some cool roles. But for people who might be seeing this through our award-winning and far-reaching short clips, we've got another one going a little bit viral at the moment, which is Taco's story of the man who pulls his trousers down by his ankles and his shirt up under his arms. What are you guys up to?
What are we up to? Chris, you take this one.
We're making a streaking game. The long and the short is that we had a group at our last company that we didn't want to give up the team because we worked really hard at building a team that everybody got along. We were really drama-free, a lot of good talent. And everybody was really bought in on what we were doing. So it was a joy to come to work every day and work with our team. Some of the other stuff, not so much. But we decided to keep the group together. And we've gone through a couple of iterations on what we were going to do. We kind of started with something that was very live ops, gotcha box heavy. Once we deprogrammed a little bit, we decided we're just going to make something that we actually want to play and play around with. So we're just starting, but we're going to be doing an action RPG, Diablo style, Minecraft dungeon style. And it's in the Web3 space.
Love it.
Yeah, so
And
full multiplayer, everything.
Would we have heard of your previous company? Do we know them?
Nah, you wouldn't know them.
No.
I don't know if they're
Maybe you haven't heard of them.
I think I've heard that name before. I think it's Bingo, isn't it, in the UK?
We were at a bingo company.
Britain's been going mad is their strapline. They'll love that. Matt, you were going to jump in there.
So we're targeting full multiplayer instanced experiences, which means you go in, you get your party together, you take on one part of the game, you come back to that hub, you can reconfigure, reset, and then take on the next one. So it's episodic, but not really instanced, I guess.
And the art that I've seen coming out of your team is amazing. I've not seen any other Web3 gaming company in this initial startup phase that is producing that level of content. So obviously keeping the band together was a good idea. Tell me a little bit more about that.
We are so thankful to have our Voxel artist, our animator, our tech artist. These people they're legit. They're good at what they do. And they come from some cool backgrounds, some big AAA, some small indie, done a little bit of everything. So we are super fortunate that we were able to get them at the last place. And I was going to fight like hell to keep them.
There were some lessons learned at the last place. If you told me 3 years ago, like, do, voxel style art in your game, I would have poo-pooed it and been like, no, I want to do really cartoony or really, realistic, blah, blah, blah. But the learnings here is when you're a small team, this kind of art style just accelerates everything, right? Mm-hmm. Art's usually the biggest blocker in game development. We've been consistently ahead with the art department over everything else because they can just crank on it so quickly. So we decided when we left Gala that we're sticking with the voxel style because for a bunch of technical reasons, it's just a lot easier to build with. But also, we have years of experience building these things, so why would we switch and start relearning and doing all that? I will say ours are better. They have facial animation ability, elbows and knees, which the other ones didn't have. So they're much more game ready than the initial run at the last company was.
Yeah,
nice.
100%.
I think it helps that there is a core group of people who have fallen in love with that art style, who saw what that could have been, and it's nice for you guys to actually be delivering on that kind of stuff. So that's cool to see. And to be fair, seeing you guys in the Discord all the time and talking to people and fostering that community is, again, like something that I personally haven't really seen since the last bull run in the NFT gaming space. But Tucker, you've probably seen that from the Good Vibes Club.
I will not tell you how many I have, just in case my wife eventually watches this podcast. She hasn't yet, but if she does at some point. Yeah, well, they're only like $13 each, so it's probably fine.
She chooses to watch it.
That was part of my mission when Chris and I got together and we started going, okay, what is this company going to be? The first thing that I wanted to do was something we learned from being on the Vox team, which is this only works. The Web3 world only works when you talk to the community and you don't talk down to them and you listen to them and you work with them. But mostly it's just daily communication. How are you guys doing? Good morning. That's how you build that kind of relationship with the community. And that's how you get them to play your game.
The part is that, like I said, we've been through a couple of iterations on what we were going to build. And where we finally landed was a lot from talking to the community, whether it be Dr. Wookie or, people that are in the Discord. It became really obvious what they were really looking for. And, I'll build anything. I'll be honest, I'll build anything. But what they wanted was they want to see their characters run around and smash things. Okay, well,
that is what we want.
Now, where can I get some of this merch?
Oh, we love merch.
We want Smash things, but we also want merch.
Talk to me. I built this just because I wanted something. Talking to my friends and other tech people, you're not a real tech company until you have merch, until you have a T-shirt. So that
Hey,
was. I did this on my own. You're a
we know
real
that.
company. You're a real podcast.
We don't sell it yet. It's just it exists.
It exists. That's all you need.
I'm the
And so-
only one who's not branded here.
You are the only one not branded.
Here, I'll
Yeah.
fake it.
I gotta send you one of these.
Let me see. Here, I'll do my Deep Space Nine baseball hat.
There you go. I made a polo and a T-shirt. Those are the two that I've read. But if you have any ideas or you actually do want to buy some merch, just ping me in the Discord.
Done.
I like selling stuff.
Love it. And you guys are working towards a sale. Is there been an announcement on when that date is yet? Yes.
We are waiting on some art to come together, some website stuff to come together. But yeah, we have announced that it's going to be a 4-tiered NFT system that gradually gains rewards. So you can think of it like a node that you don't have to host.
If people want to keep on top of this, they should go to the Discord. That's where we're pushing people, right?
Go to Discord. We're only going to push it on our Discord for now. We want to give our community the first shot at everything. So all sales will be officially announced through Discord.
Nice. Taco, have you been on any trips this week?
I have not been on any trips. For the 11 people who watch the full episodes of every podcast, you'll know last week I was in the midst of recovery. I'm just better now. I'm at home. Actually, we're hosting my mother-in-law. It's been great. I love having her here.
You are not being told to say that, Taco.
Twice you're under duress.
They're downstairs right now, and it's like, guys, I'm doing a podcast in 10 minutes. I know that nobody watches, but can you please just keep it down for an hour?
Taco, you know about the Will Wright video where he blinked SOS
Oh, no, that's great.
when he was talking about Vox?
Did that get released?
Oh yeah. Nobody noticed it until after we released it. I knew he did it, but
Yeah.
I was like, sure, release it. I thought it was funny.
At one point, we talked about turning me into a voxelated character. I took an online Dungeons and Dragons test to tell me what kind of character I should be. And it was very, very set on me being a warlock, which I think makes sense for me, because what I learned about warlocks is that they want to have some kind of power, but they don't want to go through the effort of learning it, and they don't want to do physical stuff. So they just make deals with the dark powers in the world, like bad guys, to get power. Like, whatever, I just want to have these powers, but I don't actually study for it, which felt really great. It's the least prepared person probably in your party. Yeah, just give me the powers. This is great. I'll do whatever you want. And then they have a cat or something that comes with them.
It's usually something more powerful than a kitty cat, but yeah.
Did we release a Taco Vox?
Well, does it exist?
I don't know if I've seen the Taco Vox.
Well, I have it.
So
I don't have it
nude.
fully decked out, but I do have.
Okay. Which is also fun. That would be actually pretty great. It's a nude warlock. Hutch, what kind of character would you be in a D&D adventure without having taken the quiz?
That's an excellent question. I feel like I would probably be green-skinned and have like teeth that come up, an overbite, and then that's how I picture myself. Anyway, that's my own self-image.
Right.
I'm this horrible, ugly old troll. I feel like I'd be that. I would probably be mute and have some kind of war paint. But thoughtful, thoughtful and non-magical, but resourceful. That's who I am. Hey,
look at that guy.
Hey.
Not fully rendered yet, but there it is.
Wow.
Oh, you're
That's
actually
pretty
getting
good,
a
actually.
fly through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty close,
Yeah.
right?
I like
It's your
that.
merch, right? Like voxelated.
Yeah. And then, oh, wait, maybe I can.
Look at that guy.
Oh.
Oh.
So what would you guys see him wielding? Obviously, heard something that there's going to be a suite of weapons, and those aren't going to be necessarily determined by the character that you have, so you can swap those out.
Exactly.
But what of the weapons that you've crafted do you think suit Taco the most?
Oh,
So I see him as like a Nest character. So I'm gonna say baseball bat.
Okay.
I'm going to go with, part of our thing is anything goes. So it's like, I don't know, a minigun, a flamethrower,
Minigun.
a dead fish. I mean, any of these are reasonable.
Nice. I see him.
Oh,
I see him
good.
maybe with a staff, but I'm also picturing him with long hair and that velvet jacket, but just like a robe. Maybe I'm turning him into your warlock character that you picked for yourself, Taco. But
Do people know that the Hutch box exists?
I got a
I
Hutch
know.
box
You
from
did?
Gala, so I saw the Vox version. But have you guys short fused me?
No, it's the one that was made there.
Nice. Yeah. Do you know what I love and also hate about this is how accurate they got my hairline. Like that
It's true.
that is a deep it's just one cube receded from the front of my head. I have laughed and cried alternately at this image of me, but it was wonderful to have this made. I did
love the little top.
to be fair, the person who was in charge of art back on the Vox team, I blackmailed to get that. Made some harsh threats, and he had that made for me.
First iteration of our team picture, Hutch, you snuck into.
Did
Yeah.
I?
Yeah, in our team, did all the Voxes for the whole team, and yours is right in there. And the person you were talking about was like, why is he, because whoever did it just grabbed all the team member, like all the Gala Vox, and threw them all into the picture.
Well,
and
I
you're
did-
the only one outside of the Vox team that had one.
I did some voiceovers to
I was
work
fine with it.
for the
I didn't
team.
kick you out.
I was a friend
Somebody
of
else,
the team.
Friend of the team. I like
definitely.
Taco, should we go to the DGen mailbag? I'm interested to remember what I've forgotten because I watch them as they come in,
Yeah.
and then I forget, and I think, that'll be funny, and I should probably prep something.
It started pretty
And then I
light today,
don't.
but I still have some follow-up questions. Creamy or crunchy with your peanut butter? And I guess in Britain, do you have different options? Do you have peanut butter?
We do have peanut butter. I don't think we have the brands that you have. I think we have different brands. For instance, the one that is being held up there, I've never seen that before in my life. Or I have, but like I know it from The Simpsons or something.
Here.
Yeah, I just assumed that it was a fake brand that they made for whatever show it was, so I'm surprised to see that in the flesh. We do have peanut butter. I have a real deep loathing of peanut butter and nuts in general. I really cannot get on board with. And so is not an appetizing sentence for me. I assume we have with bits and without bits, but it's not a regular occurrence. Oh, you've got an industrial sized tub. Okay.
This is my snack. This is my daily munch on while I'm coding peanuts.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
I love all different types of nuts, but you saying creamed nuts makes it sound really terrible. Man,
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
thinking
nuts.
about our virality on TikTok, Taco. I'm not going to lie.
That's
But you saying that you're a fan
Good
of
choice.
nuts is definitely going to get clipped. I love that.
yeah.
This is not a professional podcast. We are very childish, and we're not worried about plumbing those depths.
I approve.
Oh,
I guess
extra.
I'll say I like chunky nuts. Oh yeah, definitely super chunky.
I'm a smooth peanut butter guy.
And what does that mean?
Extra
Because
chunky.
like peanut butter is obviously like a paste, and so does this just have like real
peanuts in it. Yeah.
So they just make the paste
just-
and then they add peanuts back in.
No, they don't paste it all the way. They don't blend
So you
it.
see all the crunch? I can't
It's
believe
not
it.
at all.
Well,
I'm gonna have to eat it now. But you see like how it's chunky there? It's kind of
Yes.
like corn in your poop.
I also
Right.
like
And that's what it looks
crunchy
like.
peanut butter. I like a normal amount of crunchy, not extra crunchy, and I
There you
don't
go.
have any brand loyalty. I'll buy whatever peanut butter's on sale.
I don't either.
So natural peanut butter is oils and peanut
Peanuts and salt.
blended. You
Oh,
have to stir it to make it the paste, and it's terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's really terrible.
The reason I do this Skippy is that there's no added sugar in this one.
They lie. It's a U.S. company.
Trying not to eat the added sugar thing.
So in the U.S., when they say no added sugar, it can actually have up to 1% added sugar.
Okay. That's good to know. I mean, to be fair, like, I have generally noticed that unless you're going to like a restaurant that has cooked food there, just anything that comes in a packet tastes synthetic in a way that doesn't exist in the UK. Like, and we have like white bread, like, you know, that's the bread that I buy, right? Super light and fluffy.
Bleach bread, yeah.
But there's some other taste, and occasionally you'll hit a French fry, right? If you're going around, that has a sort of like effect on your mouth that like sucks all of the moisture out of it. Like you'll bite into a French fry and your mouth will just like become like, you know, when you eat, you know, that taste after you eat a banana and you like smush it at the roof of your mouth and it becomes like really like weird, bitter and dry, and
every time.
that's the
All the preservatives.
This podcast always comes back to food.
Yeah.
So what's on the menu, boys? What's on the menu tonight?
The UK American food thing really goes hard on TikTok. Like they love it. They love it.
So I made a Texas chili right after I got off which is different than other chilies. This is
The only way to do it.
Yeah. That's what the family has pretty much told me. I like the bean and all that, but the rest of the family is like, just give me meat.
It's steak in meat. That's all you need.
Yep, exactly. Do you have chili in the UK?
I mean, we do. It's very much more Italian chili, right? It's basically just a bolognese with some spice and some beans.
Yeah,
But that's the first time anyone has ever been able to articulate what the difference between a chili is. Because most people will be like, "Oh, it's not a Cincinnati chili," and I'm like, "What is that?" And they're like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm a crazy like barbecue guy. Like we could talk about barbecue from all over the country, and it is very different, which is really cool because I get sick of certain styles. So, you know, some are mayonnaise based, some are mustard based, some are tomato based. But yeah, you know, I like food.
Well,
So,
like out here, Ricky, we grill, and it's all dry rub.
yeah. So I do a mix. I do a dry rub, and then I do the last hour in a sauce, so you get nice sticky, right? Can't hold on to it with your hands food.
And we have our steaks, our tri-tip with salsa,
Yeah, we don't do that.
not steak sauce. We do a Mexican salsa.
"Okay,
The Mexican food in California is actually really good.
yeah, I'll well, the best compliment I'll pay it is that it's better than the Mexican food I've had in England." So I've not been to Mexico. The first time I went to the States, I went to San Francisco, and the guy who I was going with was from San Francisco, and he was just like, "Oh, you wait till you try Mexican food here." And I was like, "We're not going to Mexico. Like, how different can it be from English Mexican?"
Very different.
Very.
It's different. I mean, he did take me to a Taco Bell the following day because he was like, "It's a cultural experience. You've got to." Anyway, Taco, let's hit the mailbag. I saw "Is there a God" in there, and I feel like, do you want to? Should we stray into that?
Hutch, we're not to God yet. I have a follow-up to our peanut butter question. because hold on,
Who's
who's the monster
asking
who
this?
shared
Is
it?
that Sleeping Giant?
Crypto Lion shared a picture of the powdered peanut butter which I was not familiar with. And also, what abomination is this? Are people making hot peanut butter drink instead of hot cocoa? Are they just drinking like?
No. You put it in like protein shakes and stuff. So you do chocolate milk. I love PB2 and chocolate milk.
Okay,
It's
so you're
really
just
good.
adding it to other stuff. You're making a peanut drink or
Yes,
putting it like
you're adding it to
dry
other
on a
stuff.
sandwich.
Yeah, no, you add it to other stuff to increase protein.
I don't know, Hutch. What do you have to rehydrate it somehow? I don't know. Why would you do that? Would you make peanut butter into powder?
Because in chocolate milk, peanut butter is amazing, and it adds a ton of protein.
You have some of this at your house.
Yes,
I challenge you to just make peanut butter drink.
Peter milk.
I'll do it tonight. I'll post it. I'll make a peanut butter cocoa.
Like hot cocoa, but make hot peanut butter.
I don't know that it's gonna.
If it's in cold milk, it's like a milkshake, right? It's like a peanut butter milkshake.
Exactly. It's amazing.
I'm not a fan of peanuts, but I can get on board with that as a concept. Okay. Calling it a tea and thinking about straining it afterwards, like the bits out of it, like ooh. Hot water in peanut butter. Ooh, golly.
Oh, it's
sorry.
Hutch, what's your tea address?
I mean, it's Yorkshire Gold. I actually posted in the Discord, and I will share this because I think this is important for context. In the Discord, I posted a hierarchy of British teas, and I mostly agree with this. Let me find you guys again. I need to share this image. So here we have
missing the best one.
Yorkshire Gold, I would say. So there are a couple of changes that I would put at the bottom. Tetley and Typhoo, 100% mid-tier. Mid-tier. I mean, to be fair, Tea Pigs, which is the one on the end, that's supposed to be like a really fancy one, but I don't think anybody really buys it for that. But I would pull PG Tips down from top tier and put that in mid-tier. Then I would take Twining's English Breakfast and put that into top tier, because it's not God tier. It's like perfectly acceptable if you're in a nice hotel, but Yorkshire tea is where it's at. And then I would add into the God tier Yorkshire Gold, which is just.
Okay.
Sorry. So
you can't find the Yorkshire like in the store around here, right?
It was when we went to San Francisco. It was in that grocery store that was in that little mall. Mm-hmm. So they have like a British. You have to go to the British bit. Like if your thing has like a British shelf with like penguins and Tunnock's tea cakes and whatnot, then you'll find it there. But it won't. Yeah, they're not. People aren't stocking it normally. But what was missing, Matt? Which brand?
Irish Breakfast. Give me at least strong bread tea.
I can get on board, but is that the Twinings version of Irish bread?
Any? Yes.
It's not God tier. It's not God tier.
It's top least.
I'm an Earl Grey guy. Star Trek,
Earl Grey, man, that's good.
We do Twinings Earl Grey. I didn't know it was connected to Star Trek.
Oh, that's what Captain Picard drinks, man.
Yeah, that's what Picard used to drink. Well, and it's a fancy British thing, right? If you go somewhere and they've got Earl Grey, but it's a very different type of tea, right? It has a very naturally lemony infusion, and so that's why people often add lemon to it. That's not if you wake up in the morning and you're just like, oh, let's get a cup of Earl Grey in me, like that's you're a psychopath. Like that is a specialty. If someone comes around and you go, oh, would you like a cup of tea? We've got Earl Grey. Like that's the formal way to present Earl Grey. Like if the Queen comes around and you're like, would you like a cup of Earl Grey? She'll be like, oh yes, wonderful. But if you're just waking up and drinking that in the morning, like, that's crazy. It's crazy behavior. They'll lock you up.
Now I'm hungry for a peanut butter sandwich and I want some tea. Man, this podcast is killing me.
A powdered peanut butter sandwich.
Nah, too gritty. I couldn't eat it. That'd be weird.
Yes, it would.
That would be weird. Good to know. Good to know that's where the line is drawn.
Yeah, yeah, that's the line.
But I guess you could, like, if you're having an ice cream sundae, you could sprinkle some powdered peanut butter on a sundae, though, right?
You could. You absolutely could, instead of doing like the chopped nuts. Yeah. I would do that.
I can understand this. I can be accepting of it. I won't take myself, but we don't judge here.
Chocolate milk, man.
All right, moving on to the serious part of Mailbag. From Sleeping Giant, he asked a couple of questions. I don't know if we want to get into. He asked us, "Is there a God?" And he asked, "Does the universe have an end?"
Well, I think the existence of powdered peanut butter almost disproves the existence of a God, because what God would allow that to be?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Before we jump into these hard hitting questions, we haven't given Sleeping Giant a funny vocalization of his name. We've done it with Matt Clinic, and we've done it with Las Vegas Lions, but we haven't done it with Sleeping Giant. And so I mean, Taco, if you want to jump in, please feel free. But if not, I have an idea of what his name should sound like.
No, I'm very excited to see your interpretation of what this is. Please go on.
Let me just stretch, because this requires. What I'm picturing is a giant who has just been awoken from a slumber and is doing his like morning big stretch, and he goes, "Sleeping Giant."
No, I think that's perfect.
Okay. All right. Is there a God? Who knows? Does the universe have an end?
There is an observable end of the universe. Yeah. We've seen it just recently.
There is not.
Is there anything beyond that? Well, turn on Brian Cox on BBC4 and hang out with him for a bit, and maybe you'll figure it out.
Brian Cox, yes, I'll tell you about the universe, and then we'll go to tea.
Oh my God, he's like my favorite celebrity scientist right now.
He's definitely my favorite ex-pop star scientist.
That's actually not that short of a list. Brian May.
Yeah.
Who's an astrophysicist now.
Astrophysicist now. Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson was in a punk band.
Wait, what?
What?
Kidding. But
okay. I was like, just me.
Actually see that.
I need to hear it.
But no, Brian Cox was in D-Ream, who did the song "Things Will Only Get Better."
I had no idea.
In the fucking 90s, played the keys. Yeah, that is nice bit of British.
Yeah, all kind of related, so that doesn't shock me.
I feel that.
I
saw a really interesting TikTok the other day, which is where I get all of my scientific literacy. That
good place, Lenny.
They think that the universe may exist within a black hole because more than 50% of the universes are spinning in one direction. And you would expect that on average, 50% would go one way, 50% would go the other. But there seems to be some other force that spun them up in the beginning. So more of them are, I forget whether it was clockwise or anti-clockwise, but that's the level of scientific rigor that you get on this podcast.
So then, Mr. Scientist, how does Hawking radiation apply? Where does the leakage go?
Yeah, leakage is something that I'm constantly worried about, constantly concerned about. To be honest, on long trips to America, of which there were a few last year, and especially California, that likes to add a little kick into their food. Leakage on the flight home was something that honestly perturbed me a little bit. Like, I would have to be very specific about what I ate the day before, because that's a situation I don't want to be in. So yeah, that's my thoughts on leakage.
I that way when I travel. Like the day before I travel, I'm always light on the foodage. I will not eat at the airport. Just, age
You're
happens, man.
You're taking your life in your own hands if you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially like, I've got allergies, right? So it's like, I don't trust any of that stuff.
You guys have really just got it all wrong. Just don't go anywhere further than a 30-minute flight. That's how I live my life.
Hey, that
We can
Just convince everyone to come to
all
you.
this by not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt's already put down the gauntlet that if when we get together as a team, it's going to be in California.
Yeah. I'm not leaving the state. There's nothing good outside of California.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if over to the UK, then there's just George, and nobody wants fly him out there.
No.
I'll cut that bit, maybe. I don't know.
No.
Should we do one more for the mailbag? But we are reaching sort of time. Taco, you're the man in control here.
Yeah, that's all I really had for a mailbag for this week.
Lovely. Well, I'm glad that Sleeping Giant got his vocalization finally.
Yep.
Sleeping Giant. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Can we just plug your stuff a little bit? Like, where should we go if we're new and excited about the world of Shortfuse?
Yeah, join our Discord. Can we throw a QR code or something on the screen for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so join our Discord, right somewhere like there, and join our Twitter, Shortfuse Games.
X.
Whatever.
It's short_Fuse Gaming.
Fuse Games it is, yes, because never mind.
All right. Right, I'm going to stop recording, so everybody wave to the nice people.